Welcome.
Recording.
From what I can
Is everything
see. Recording? It's recording. Welcome to the Baking You Down with Sugar Cookie Marketing Podcast. We are your hosts, Corey and Heather Miracle.
Oh,
Go ahead.
That was it. I was waiting to buy a car and a watch at the end of that. It's the podcast. It has snowed here in Northern Virginia.
Snowed
and
nothing. Then became 16 degrees.
And now it's going to be 55 degrees on Thursday. So welcome to the nation's swamp.
The swamp. But frozen right now. A frozen tundra.
And then it will be a slushy car wash killer.
It will be a car wash killer. I do say, let me be grateful for something this morning. I live in a townhouse, and we do not have a townhouse with a garage. But remote start, whoa.
What a first world
By
problem.
golly.
First, we were about to pity you, and then you're like...
No, I said, let me be grateful for
I
it.
do not have remote start. Can you have remote start on manual transmissions?
Can you?
Not sure. What if you accidentally left it in gear?
I don't know. Wouldn't you have the e-brake up, though?
What if you forgot to put the e-brake on, left in gear? It would fly away.
Do you ever leave it without the e-brake on?
You leave it with the e-brake on and a gear, but no, you can choose to not.
Oh, interesting. I'm an automatic girly. With remote start, thank goodness.
So jumping into today, I see. Okay, I'm not a January 1 girly. I can start any goal at any random Tuesday at 2:45 p.m.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So yesterday I said I need to go to the gym, and we went to the gym at 1:45 p.m.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really, because I understand the goal isn't the goal; it's the habit.
It is.
Okay, and yesterday I started my transition from my 2025 spreadsheets to my 2026 spreadsheets. And I do this every year, ceremoniously closing the chapter on one and opening the chapter for the next. But every time I dial in my spreadsheets. So every year I'm like, I use my spreadsheets religiously.
You do.
But I'm like, oh, you know what? That's last year. I wish it was like this. So in my 2026 strategy, I fixed those little wants and needs.
You're building up on it. Year after year, building up.
Oh, every year my spreadsheet gets a little stronger.
Last night in the car, in the darkness as we go by the Lake Ridge red lights, the glare of the red on our faces, Nate, my husband, asked, do you remember your January New Year's resolutions?
Did he remember them?
He said he never has one. He said he's never disappointed because he never starts it.
Okay.
And I said, I know I had some, couldn't tell you what they were. Didn't jot them down.
We should jot them down.
We should. But I'm saying, so this whole podcast is on these big, ambiguous goals that we love to make.
Right. Who doesn't love to shoot for the
New
moon?
year, new me.
I'm going to be honest. I am exceptionally unflexible.
You are. I am too.
I know, because we did the presidential fitness test in high school, and the one I could never win. Almost had to ask people to push my back forward. The one where you had to touch your toes, they put a ruler between your legs. I said, I could see my toes.
It was this weird contraption that you put your toes on, your feet, and it like measured your stretchy distance. Right. Could you touch your toes while in a seated position?
I don't remember if you remember this. To Kristen, we said, don't shoot for the moon and hit the stars. Shoot for the fence and possibly hit the stars. Like, shoot low, get possibly high so you're not disappointed. And I think there's something to that. Granted, it was a joke, and no, I can't touch my toes, nor the stars. But I think there's something to bite off very small pieces and be successful, not because we're trying to be like a psychology mind trick, but rather smaller goals, smaller pieces with smaller supporting things are actually attainable.
Well, I want to say smaller goals. When you don't reach a smaller goal, it's less guilt. So a lot of people make these big goals in the new year, and when they don't meet them, like say if I'm going to go to the gym every single day in 2026, and then you miss a day, you're more apt to just quit.
Well, it's a devastation.
Yeah, because the guilt is huge because you had this massive, I'm going to be at the gym for 365 days. A more palpable goal. My goal is to make it to the gym once a week. More palpable. If I don't make it to the gym on one of those weeks, let's say we made it to April, one of the April weeks, life got in the way.
I'm allowed to double up the next week.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's so much easier to say, to fall off the horse and get back on when it's a small hurdle than if it's a giant hurdle.
I said to myself yesterday, I go to the gym, I use my boop, you check in. I was like, I'm surprised nobody tackled me for identity theft. Like, because they're like, surely you're not Heather.
Yeah.
She hasn't been here in months. But I said, all I have to do, say to myself, is walk through the door, scan the thing. If I turned around, as odd that would be, that's my goal. It's such a tiny one. Of course, you walk in there, it's so many people, right? And I'm like, new faces. They think I'm a loser.
A little baby.
Right, so I went to my little baby corner, and I did.
Little baby, did you lose your mommy?
Yeah, I put as a little baby. Wait on here. Is anybody using this little baby stat?
Do you want me to tell you how to do it.
But I went, and I'm like, wow, I feel great. My legs hurt, but I hardly did any weight. I was behind the 8 ball and everything, but I went.
Right.
So, okay, Gam's like, are you going to go every day this week? I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I will be taking myself out to lunch every day this week.
Yeah.
But my goal was that today I said I was, and I did. And I think that applies to these things. Incremental improvement is far better than massive improvement with massive fall off.
And it's not even saying massive improvement, it's these massive goals, the massive words. It's so easy to blah, 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 to say words. I'm going to
double my sales.
Yes, I'm going to double my sales. Juicy. Love it. Sounds delicious. Delectable. Let me chew on that a little bit longer. It's so hard to turn that. And the fall off when you don't double your sales.
Well, it's so easy to fall off.
It's so easy.
Massive.
So instead of making your goals so big, such a giant Mount Everest, if we make more smaller goals, not as juicy to say, but more attainable, we're going to have a lot better shot at this whole thing.
I like the Mount Everest approach. I'm going to climb Mount Everest. Could you imagine how nice that would be to post a Facebook?
Yeah.
My goal in 2026 is to climb Mount Everest. You know what's a lot less sexy to do in 2026? My goal is to hike around Burke Lake 3 times. Burke Lake,
but I want to say
down the street.
To get to Mount Everest,
you have to do Burke Lake.
Burke Lake thing.
I think we kind of fall in love with. Nobody's going to want to see that I walked around Burke Lake.
No,
nobody's even going to want to.
You're not going to get a lot of social media likes on that.
But if I don't walk around Burke Lake, but maybe Everest was never the goal anyways. Maybe it was me hiking, and then I get to Old Rag, which is Virginia's little mountain or something. And then I go that, and I go to somewhere new.
Oh, yeah. And maybe in 2030.
And that would be the applicable time, but it doesn't matter. I'm a person who hikes.
Yes.
I'm not a person who one time, and you see the Mount Everest. I'm not sure why I'm obsessed, and I'm sure most of it's AI now.
I know.
But the base camp 1, base camp 2, base camp 3.
Yeah.
Crazy. And I'm envious of those people, but I'm also scared that I ever find myself there. I think it's a good time to bring up a story about my ex because it feels like I didn't talk about him today. Rob would just come up with these massive goals. They had to start at 12 a.m. on New Year's at the beginning of the year. And if at any point there was a gap in the goal was no longer in existence.
Yes.
Right. And I would tell myself, I would say it to him, of course. Tell myself, whoa. I would say to him, why can't you just go right now? It's 2:43 today, right? It was obviously going to the gym or going to meal prep or something. And I said, well, can't you just go? I'll go with you. No, I've got stuff to do right now. I got to start it on a Monday, the first Monday of the month, the first month of the year, the first hour.
Years only.
So it's just, and I was like frustrating because the person you want to be is at 2:43.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I go, okay, guys, I guess I got to sign up for Mount Everest. No, that's the point of today's podcast is sometimes when we reach the new year, you can get so distracted with massive goals, you actually lose the whole point of them.
And you are sitting with Nathan in the car, not remembering what your goal was.
So one of my spreadsheets that's actually pulled up right here is my calendar countdown. And that's how I use to kind of, Corey and I meet every Monday, and I tell her what's coming down the pipeline. And it's based off of this calendar that I've used for a couple years now. This year, I didn't say, let me, from the ground up, make a calendar. No, I said, let me take last year's and what 3 things I didn't like about how the spreadsheet was structured last year. Let me just change this.
Yeah.
I made the headers bigger. I made a blue color across the heading. And then I think I reorganized how they do so they actually fall in line better with how our meeting is structured. Yeah. That's 3 things. That's 3 exceptionally small. Like changing the color of a cell. Mm-hmm. Nothing. Mm-hmm. But it's a better spreadsheet than it was last year. It functions better than it did last year.
A lot of bakers listening to this have things in place already. You're not starting the business. Right. The business has been started. You have things in place that have been working for you. It could be the spreadsheet of yesteryear that you might need some tweaks. But instead of being like, I'm going to overhaul everything, massive undertaking goal.
Small incremental tweaks is actually the goal.
Yes.
Because, Corey and I were saying like, what do you tell a person who is doing all the things and none of them are working?
Yeah.
It's easy to tell the person doing nothing. And Corey used to say, when we onboard a new client, we're like, they're doing nothing. So everything, they're going to act like we descended from heaven.
Yeah.
But what do you tell a client who has experienced us for years and they're like, how do we improve this? Well, it's now incremental improvements over time. And that's what this is. Now we're going to start off kind of with basic goals here, but you kind of get the gist that you take this way too chunky, this bone-in ribeye with all the fat on it.
Your Mount Everest.
Your Mount Everest. We're going to take the trimmings, we're going to take the small hike, and we're going to bring it back down to reality. It is exceptionally easy to meet these goals.
Which is great.
but they will improve your current status.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing. Like, it's not, I'm not going to post about things.
They're not post-worthy.
No, but they're exceptionally valuable because I'd rather have 1% improvement every month of the year, which turns out to be 12%, than 10% improvement 1 month of the year. And for the rest of the year, I see nothing. And then come Christmas, you're like, where are my orders? Right. So the first one, social media. Everyone wants to be on social media. It is the current marketing flavor of the past couple of years.
Yeah.
If you're not on social media, you're not making as many sales as possible. Great. Okay. I'm going to add 1,000 followers this year. Mount Everest goal.
And I see a lot of bakers. You're like, why didn't say it? I see a lot of bakers being like, help me get to 4,000. 4,000? 4,000? I couldn't even
imagine in a room full of 1,000 people. You'd be shaking in your boots having to speak to them. I want to get 1,000 followers a year. What a nice lofty goal. 1,000 divided by 12 would be a 120. I can do that. Okay. Would you rather 1,000 people and none order from you, or here's one, and we're gonna walk it back. I like to grow my page by 3 local followers each week.
3 people a week.
Right. That is nothing.
Yeah, that's nothing.
But 3 people, and Corey and I made Corey do a case study for me yesterday to talk about it. 3 local people who could order from you is far more valuable than 1,000 people that you got through a follow train or going viral through a reel that reached everybody rather than reached 3 local people.
Right.
So 52 asterisk 3, 156 people is all we'd be looking at. You're not going to post that on social media. It's not going to roll you up to the next 1,000.
We're not going to make, my goal is to have 156 new followers. That,
so I had a rough, that your whole 20, but if I say to Corey, if you had 156 orders at Christmas time, you'd be saying, whoa, I can't take all yours.
If 156 people show up to my December 2026 pop-up, I'll be sold out in a matter of minutes. Okay. Right.
And these aren't just 150. Hey guys, I'm looking for 3 followers. No, you're saying I got these people. They found me through this group post. They said I'm interested in cookies, or I met them through a cookie class, or they stopped at my vendor booth and I told them, would you go follow me on social media? I actually sell very similar things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you're going to do that. And this is how you're going to do it. Now we've taken this. I want to get 3 local followers each week. What is 2 supporting goals to get to that? I will post 1 local featured business each week to my page. Stepping stone 1. Stepping stone 2. I will cross post that featured business to 1 local group. So we're making 1 post to the page, definitely 1 post about this to a local community group. That will lead to these 3 people who can order from you.
Yes.
156 is Burke Lake.
It is Burke Lake. And my goal in 2026 is this.
Burke Lake?
This is my goal.
Burke Lake. Everyone knows I live in Burke. And they're like, and you can go for free if you live in Burke, but you can't go for free if you live anywhere else. So this is the Burke Lake approach to the Mount Everest question.
Yeah.
Imagine you get to Mount Everest and you actually can't reach the top.
Sad.
Just as devastating as not.
It really is.
At least I walked around Burke Lake. I got around all 5 miles. So instead of that big, chunky, ambiguous goal of 1,000 followers, which is lofty. I love it. It sounds juicy. It sounds wonderful. And if you do it, look at all you'll be able to say. I've got 5,000 followers this year because I rolled up from 1,000 because that was my goal. Wonderful. How did you get those?
Yeah. I want to say, and Heather will tell you about what she made me do yesterday against my will, but it was great. Our Facebook page, Sugar Cookie Marketing's Facebook page, has a juicy 118,000 followers. 118,000. Because I made some reels that were ambiguous. It didn't say, are you a sugar cookie baker looking to go? No, it was an ambiguous decorating video that went viral.
And the viral chooses what it wants, right? So it's not like, oh, shoot, let me take viral. It just happened. But now we have 118,000 non-realistic people.
And on paper to say, we have 118,000 followers.
Sign up to advertise.
Sounds great. And you're like, oh, what I wouldn't do for 100. Let me tell you, they're not valuable followers.
Right. They're great, probably great people, and they like great content, but they're not buying the Cookie College, and they're not joining the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group, and they're not shopping at the vending machine.
So
they're not people.
So I'm telling you, break up with that Mount Everest because it ain't what it looks like. You're like, well, with 118,000 followers, they're probably seeing more of your content. Yes, they see a little bit more of the content, like the average rate of the page post, but it's not converting into anything.
Right. I asked Corey this question a couple weeks ago. I said, if you could press a button, a giant red button on the folding table we have from Walmart, and half the members in the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group only removing people who haven't posted in 3 years, would you press it? And Corey said, I'd press it twice. Right. Because there's a group of 50,000, but I'd rather a group of 25,000 really active bakers because there is quality and there's quantity. So back to the goals here. 3 local people are willing to buy. Now, here's my funny story. There's a local community group. It's actually a public group, which is my arch nemesis, which means it doesn't matter if you're in it or not. You can preview it. It turns out I had been seeing it, but I wasn't in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I had been seeing, if you guys in our area, IHOP's gone. Denny's, get out of my way. It's these things called First Watch.
Mm-hmm.
Never been. Diners.
My little sister loves it.
Yeah. Our mom and our little sister go all the time, but even they've said it's too expensive.
It's like a breakfast brunch place.
Yeah, so First Watches are taking Northern Virginia by storm. If something it's the new mattress factory, but it has eggs in it. So I've not been. I should go. It's just the thought of paying that much for an egg. And I love eggs. I love IHOP.
Listen, I just went to Cracker Barrel this week. You'll pry it out of my cold dead hands. I love a Cracker Barrel.
That's Cracker Barrel.
I love it.
So there's this First Watch they're opening in an area called Manassas, which is just a little south of
it's
DC.
Where I am, it's the next little town over. So the First Watch, it's in construction. However, it seems like it has a stucco finish, and the F keeps falling out of its little hole. So it looks like Watch, and the F is swinging down. I don't believe this is the first time the F's fallen out. I think it's the second time the F has fallen out. It's at a major intersection. And the business is not even open to do that yet.
And it sells eggs. So Corey, we're having a marketing meeting. I said, I think this would be fun, but you have to act super fast.
Yeah.
In this group called Manassas Talk is the First Watch. The F is falling off, and people keep posting about it because it's at the stoplight. So they're sitting there. Now it's become a weird, tiny group joke. And then the comments are super funny. Someone's like, where's Vanna White when you need her to push the F back in? Because the F hasn't fallen out completely.
The comments, hilarious.
So Corey's like, I actually have all the colors ready to go. So I sent her one of the pictures from some member took at the traffic light. So Corey calls me and she's like, okay, I got the cookie. And it's just the F is a little off-centered. She's piped the front of the building. She goes to the group and she was like, I don't know. What was the caption?
I said, I don't know what all the hype is about. I'm really excited to eat at Watch.
Okay, but it's on a cookie, right? So she posted, of course, I'm in there joining the group and hyping up the comment section.
It does say at the bottom, just, this is my submission for Marketing Monday. Here's my Facebook.
Which it was required by the rules or something, right? Okay, so first of all, the admin's like, this is super funny. The admin who approved your post said, this is very funny.
Yeah.
Then the guy who took the photo said, this is very funny. And I said, this is very funny. And then I was seeing a lady and she was like, it's so funny. I was looking through your page. This is so funny. It got my attention. I'd love to just have you on my Rolodex to place orders from.
And I get that. Yeah.
That post, granted, you did move quickly and I was impressed by it. You had to move. I said, Corey, you got to move quickly. This is, I should you either do it today or don't do it at all. Inside jokes only last for so long. But now Corey has this one extremely strong lead from a local group.
From a extremely hyper local joke.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that cookie is not going to do numbers outside in the world.
No.
It will only do numbers in Manassas. Manassas is the bordering town to where I actually service. Okay.
Right. Now you've tabulated it. How many likes in this?
So on the post itself, 300 likes.
Which is impressive for that group.
Great. Yes.
It matches the other Watch posts.
It does. It surpassed the other Ersts.
Right.
And for me specifically, 25 new local Facebook followers.
So Corey's halfway through a 2026 goal.
I get that.
But you understand that 25 is nothing, but it's also absolutely everything.
25 people who can open their wallets and pay me by far beats out 118,000 people who will not.
It's funny. We even have a local group called Northern Virginia Foodies. If you've ever been to Northern Virginia, you understand what sprawling suburbia looks like. Mm-hmm. It is tremendous miles of the same shopping center over and over again. So this group is actually Manassas only. It's highly more valuable in terms of Corey's target demographic.
Yeah.
However, her likes are tremendously much lower than if it had been in Northern Virginia.
Absolutely. And even then, and I want to say, in the Manassas Talk, it's a public group. So anyone can see in it, and they do let anyone with a pulse in there. Okay, at the end of the day, Heather doesn't live in Manassas, and she's in the group. So I'm going to say, now me and Heather have a local ladies group. That is where I live. There's only 4,000 women in there.
But we'll talk about the hyper-local buying power.
And me and Heather check. We make sure you are local to get into the group.
Yeah.
So I want to say, I made another post. Noelle. It was a little punny cookie I did.
Yes, very funny. I saw this test.
With my goals in 2026 on there. And I was able to attain 7 local ladies where I live.
If you guys said, I made this post and only got 7 likes on it, you would be like, I'm a failure. But if you got 7 people interested in something and they place an order, would you think you're a failure? No. And that's why we're coming back down to the big flashy, big numbers. Mm-hmm. I'm the first person to take a picture of my odometer when it rolls over to the 000, whatever number that may be. I'm about to hit 40,000 on today's lunch drive. But that's just, it feels good to the psychology of rounded numbers.
Yeah.
7, odd number, don't like it.
Yes.
But it's a great number in terms of marketing. 3 a week, odd number, hate it, small. But 3 local people that came from a local group because you featured their local business.
Yeah. While a big following feels good and it feels important, at the end of the day, I see people with big followings saying, I don't have any orders. And that tells me
or my engagement's crap.
And that's the biggest thing I want to come down to. Three local people who will laugh at my first watch joke because they live in Manassas is so much more valuable than 0 people commenting because I got this explosion on a viral post and I've fallen into their feeds. Me and Heather talk about it, and I know we are at length on this point, sorry. TikTok followings, when going viral on TikTok because you made, and it's oftentimes, here my worst date story ever. Okay.
Immediately. That little picture where they're grabbing their charger cable.
So a lot of people will follow them and they get a huge following from this one date story. Okay, the date is over. The story's now over. So this creator goes on and posts content like, here's what I'm doing today. People who followed you for your horrible dating story, they didn't follow you for your day-to-day, so they fall off. So they might have followed you, but they no longer engage with your content. Right. Now your engagement ratios are way off.
Yeah.
And I see content creators who have big accounts creating new accounts, and they're starting from 0. And people are like, what give? And they're like, how
are you going to abandon 1 million followers? Because they're 1 million followers from who the Earth Watch did.
Yeah. I got to say
it. Hyper niche. Okay, email marketing. The big Mount Everest goal. I'm going to send out a newsletter every month. Doable. And you may be like, girls, that's pretty doable.
Yeah.
It's only 12 emails. Yeah. Okay, Let's Burke Lake this bad boy.
I want to say, at the end of the day, we know ourselves.
We
know that 12.
Sometimes I'll be like, yeah, I know. It's never going to work out. Okay. I will organize my client emails into a spreadsheet. Well, Heather, that only takes me 2 clicks. I use JotForm.
But listen, last year, 2025, you didn't send out 12 emails. Why? Probably because you didn't organize
You have to start. You have to walk around Burke Lake. And the first mile around Burke Lake is getting those client emails, wherever you store them. If you use JotForm, if you have a website, if you take them through Facebook, you're going to have a much longer task here than the rest of us. And you can put them in a spreadsheet. Yeah. You're going to put first name, last name, email. That's a bare minimum. I'm not even going to make you add. And I saw it when I said it to you. You were like glazed and confused. Krispy Kreme glazed eyes.
Name, last name.
Okay, that's it. If that's all you had to do, and you're like, well, that only takes me 5 minutes, then congratulations. You went to the gym you walked in, scanned your card.
Wow, your New Year's goal's looking good, girl.
You're not going to post about it on social media. We know that. Then
imagine that post, guys. I am putting my emails in a spreadsheet.
All those emails you get me, you are now in a spreadsheet. Thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk. Second one, I will sign up for MailChimp, which is free, and I will import this list.
Okay, and I want to say that even what Heather just said sounded easy. I'm going to sign up for MailChimp. There's a learning curve to designing your...
Listen, you tell me how to export a CSV file because they only accept CSV.
Okay, because that sounded good. There's work and knowledge behind even that sentence.
But imagine if the person who, remember, the big chunky one was, I'm going to send out a newsletter every month. Unless they do this, they ain't sending out the newsletter. They can write that. That's great. But they're not going to do it. We organize my client emails into a spreadsheet. And with that spreadsheet, we import it into MailChimp. And now I'm going to just send out 1 email each quarter. If you want to do more than that, you can. But the goal, the Burke Lake is I'm going to send out emails. That's 4 emails.
That's 4 emails.
That's 4 more emails you sent last year.
It is. It's not 12 emails though. And you're like, wow. But here's the thing.
Quantity and quality. There's a hybrid approach.
It is.
Good enough to go out, but great enough to open.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. In those emails, you could have featured that one local business you featured. Because everyone's like, okay, but you guys didn't say what I put in it.
That's what we're making. In the Cookie College, we do a Monday morning roll call.
I really enjoyed watching this, by the way.
Thank you. And it's a topic I bring to you guys, and they kind of build off each other. But instead of making our content, instead of working for our content's working for us.
I think you're going to feature the Urge to Watch case study. Which is still going because you posted that yesterday.
I did.
It was very interesting. It was the sales pitch I wanted to read. That whole group, after I joined it, was littered with Monday morning sales pitches.
It was.
But I'm like, the only one that's funny is this Urge to Watch.
I know. One. And we said local groups gift those moments to you.
And you have to run with them. You have to be quick. And you could always have done the Eddie, but it was more funny to see it piped.
And it made the sales post without the sales post. Like, I didn't have to be like, and I make cookies. Like, obviously, this is done.
I want to tell you guys, it's not just like I posted it. Corey's like, Carl, like, what should we do? H1 tag? I was like, no, scrap the H1 tags. I don't want it to separate. Should I do a line break? Let's concise it. Can we change out this?
Listen, strategy's always going to happen, man.
Okay, 3.
Website.
Okay. Oh no, it's that little thing sitting on our shoulder. I know I need a website. I'm going to get a new website.
I see bakers say it all the time. Guys, look out for a new website coming from me this year.
Then you come to the SEM group as a normal Everest hiker would and say, guys, what website should I sign up for? That is you're going to have a confirmation bias. You're going to sign up for the one I use because it's the one I use. So it's the one I like, and it's the only one anyone should use.
But I want to say, what website should I use? Broad, people. Shopify, Square, broad. Like, we're broad.
We're still
it's
looking
so
at
broad.
the whole mountain. Yeah. Let's go back to Burke Lake with websites. I'm going to start taking orders through JotForm. So if you don't even have a website, if you're still taking orders through
DM,
Facebook message, Instagram, hell on earth.
I see a lot of people comment to claim. Okay.
Right. I see a lot of people saying, I can't access my messages anymore. Okay. We're going to pipe them through JotForm. Very simple. JotForm is actually free as well. You can see that I've removed a lot of the barriers to financial entry. I'm going to start taking orders through JotForm. January. That's it. That's what we did. We set up a JotForm. We learned a new app. We asked 10 questions. First name, last name, email, phone. What do they want? And we didn't even integrate payment. Yeah, we didn't even do that. We didn't even do it. Although it's included in the free plan.
And if you want to get lost in the sauce of the JotForm sauce,
keep it simple, stupid.
Just keeping it simple. We just need the basic information, because when we get the basic information, we can make the order.
Before everyone thinks I called you stupid, KISS is an acronym. Keep it simple, stupid. Let it be your guiding principle, because the shorter your form is, the more conversions you get. I used some app I was using. I was like, just so you know. Eventbrite. I was looking through Eventbrite to change some settings and check something out. And it was like, yeah, you can ask custom questions, but why ask custom questions when you could make a sale? Yeah. And then ask questions later after you have their money. So it's really a very simple job form. Okay. And then maybe in February, maybe in March, when I have the time, I'm going to test out my custom bakes versus Square. I see people talking about them. One's a little bit more involved. One has a little less flexibility. I'm going to try 2 of those out.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to pick one. Guess what? I have a website. It's simple. It's bare bones, but it's something.
It's something.
It's Burke Lake.
We got some branding colors, maybe not some brand fonts,
It's there. It's able to convey a message. It can rank. I'm not even telling you, get a domain name and custom and then add the DMARC. No. We're just Burke Lake in this thing.
Right.
Everest will come, and maybe by the time in 22 more years or 3 more years, it's not the biggest braggadocious thing, but you got there. Yeah. You got to base camp 1.
If you said to yourself, I'm going to have a website anytime in 2025, and you do not have a website yet, this point is for you. Right. Because it's so easy and juicy and great to say those words, but it's so hard. There's so much work behind website. There's a lot of work behind it. So let's break it down into something more palpable, less flashy, but
less braggadocious.
Doable.
Tiny goals are great because I don't have to tell anybody about them.
But that's the fun parts.
But that's the juicy part, and that's what I'm going to say. Rob, so sorry. Rest in peace. I don't know where he is. He's probably destroying some other girl's life. But I want to be like, he would love to write on social media. I'm going to learn how to fly a plane.
Yeah.
Like, we just wrote that, didn't we?
Yeah.
And everybody like, that's so
Let
cool.
me know when you take your first ride.
Let's meet up at the airport. We're going to take off together. But I was like, why don't we watch some YouTube videos about what it takes to fly a plane? Turns out it's like $15,000 in this area, upwards of $25,000.
Yeah, just the not outside of the time investment, the financial investment.
And the potential of death is right there. So, but how fun was that to type in,
Oh, it felt good.
will fly airplanes.
Enter. Oh, I'm drowning in legs over here.
FAA ready. Okay, so another one, I see people bite off more than they can chew, overwhelm. You're trying to climb Mount Everest photography. I'm going to improve my photography. Well, Heather, that's fair. That's not an Everest. Yeah. It's an Everest in that it's not defined.
Yes.
Because, well, how are you going to improve it? I'm going to get better at it. How are you going to get better at it? I'm going to improve it.
Why do you keep asking?
So, Burke Lake, mile 1. There's 5 miles around Burke Lake. 4.5, according to I know. I'm going to purchase a matte colored backdrop.
Yeah. Little white.
Just one.
Backdrop.
Or, well, I think I'm going to make it. Just make it. Have one by the end of January. Have something by the end of January in your hands that we can take a photo on. Well, then I need to get this camera and this stand. No. Just making a backdrop, right? Because that's going to vastly improve your photography, regardless of which camera you got.
Sure.
Then we're going to buy one white simple plate. Because you get lost in the sauce of the Mount Everest of props, then you get overwhelmed or you're not going to do it. Yeah. We're getting one plate. And Corey and I were talking about this as we were setting the storyboarding this podcast. Would rather you have one consistent style that makes a ton of sense and sells than every style that feels discombobulated and unmatched.
Yes. I've been doing photography for years. Specifically, every cookie I've ever taken probably has one photo attached to it. At the end of the day, I do grab a plate very often.
I think you grabbed an Earthwatch plate, if I can remember the staging.
It's a little marble square.
I said it's very simple.
It's very simple. It's white on white on white.
And Corey, she does the prop thing, whatever, but she's been at the bottom of Mount Everest for years climbing up. If your Burke Lake is one plate, a cookie on the plate, a white backdrop, and an overhead, and every picture you took was that way, and incrementally, because you're going to hear that the next step is downloading Lightroom and figuring out post-processing, incrementally, it got a little bit better. At no point could you be like, here's what it was, and here's what I am. You're going to be like, I can see a difference.
This past weekend, I decided to declutter my digital footprint.
Corey brought a computer to my mom's house and never looked up once.
I never did. Okay. What was crazy, it was the funnest journey. From my first photos, my very first photos, I was clearing them out. Because you were right, you only need one.
You only need one, and you're not using it.
And I'm not using it. That was just more for memory's sake. But to see where I started to where I am now.
Incremental improvement over a long period of time. Burke Lake, Everest.
Yes. Years. I went through years of how my photos were too bright, too dim.
Yeah, I remember you're
cluttered.
I know you're
not cluttered. Yeah, right. And that's taken years. It wasn't that I just bought something and it was like, bam, great.
It never will be. Once you make peace with you're bad at everything.
Yeah.
But you can get good at it.
Exactly. So it was crazy to see how that incremental thing, and I saw year after year.
But you don't see it, Frog in the Pot, which they disproved, I guess. But Frog in the Pot comparison is small incremental improvements are hard to notice until you realize you're at a massive temperature difference.
Yeah. If I showed you a photo from when I first started to a photo now, you'd be like,
two different people.
Who's the beggar behind this one?
Who did you donate your camera to? Packaging. I see this one a lot. I'm going to improve my packaging. What an honest, simple, not ever
best
sounding
of intentions,
thing, right? But actually behind that, because it's so ambiguous, it could actually lead you to over purchasing trendy packaging, and then you feel overwhelmed, and then you have to do that awkward decluttering where you're like, "Is anybody want these? I know I'm losing money on them."
Yeah.
Instead, consider the Burke Lake approach. I'm going to source my workhorse customs box. If you have one box or your house is burning down, you just grab these boxes because these are it. These are at least the bare minimum that I'm going to start to work with. Instead of having 50 different styles of customs, and I have 25 of these, and it's only 3 of those left, and you are like, oh wow, it's hard to track what I've got. Even if you needed to donate those or use them up as DIY kits, which Corey kind of does, get that stuff out of here and get your workhorse customs box.
The workhorse custom box takes up a small square footage.
I'm sorry, asterisk. Customs orders box, not a box that is custom printed.
Yeah.
We're talking about simple Amazon brown or white.
Yes.
Window if you want.
Yeah. The footprint of just having your heavy hitters is so much less than having everything.
Everything's overwhelming.
Everything takes up all the
Everything.
space.
It takes up everything. Everything is everything. It costs everything, and it gives you nothing back. It's the Everest mountain of boxes. If you feel like your box or packaging collection is a mountain, you need to Burke Lake it. And I'm not even opposed to you going to one of those cutter bag sell trade groups and offloading some of that packaging to free up the mental space to walk around Burke Lake.
I told myself, if you dare, I stiff lifted just like in there.
Okay.
If you dare buy another ounce of shred,
There's a big box of shred here you need to go.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I wanted to have colorful shred, so I started collecting colorful shred. Here's the thing. Shred takes up a ton of space. It's shred.
Yes.
But all I truly need is white shred in my white bakery box.
Me and I said, you guys said improve packaging if you want to charge more money, and now you're just taking us back to nothing. Wait, hold on. I'm going to experiment with tulle and bows that match my brand. Very simple, right? So we're taking it back to the basics. We got a white box window, white shred. So we got nothing conflicting with the thing. And now, because the packaging is so simple, the accoutrement can be a little bit more zhuzhed.
Yeah, and she says packaging is simple. I want to say the packaging is now universal.
Yes, it's guaranteed there. It's my workhorse
Whether it be
Ford
on
F-150.
a retirement party set of cookies or a bright birthday set of cookies, the white bakery box on the white shred matches it all.
But you're like, what about that cute box from BRP Box Shop, that bag that has the in time? Yeah, I'm not telling you can't do that. We need our basics handled. We need our Burke Lake so we can go to Mount Everest.
Yeah.
And then you're going to say, I'm going to get my business card professionally printed so I can attach it to each box. So not only do we have a white box full of cookies, wonderful, we've added a tulle that matches our brand colors. Corey's would be orange, that orangish reddish color, and then a bow if she wanted to, depending on how she likes the look. And then now she's going to take a little bit of ribbon, her professionally printed brand matched business card, and attach it there. If that's all that came out of her bakery this year, she would have improved her packaging monumentally Burke Lake style.
Yeah. Yeah. While it's not custom, flashy, mixing bowl cookie company across it, it looks very much professional.
What's going to happen is these workhorse approaches, these Burke Lake approaches, are going to allow you to pay for that custom box if you want to down the road.
Absolutely.
Skill set.
This one you probably won't post. I have seen some bakers be like, this is the class I'm going to take. This is the florals I'm going to make. Love that for you.
Everesty.
Great post.
Everesty. But what if we say, okay, I'm going to add lettering to my customs. Great. Love that. It opens a huge channel for more money, upsells, those elf things with the names on them doing great things. Yeah. You put a name on a cookie that kid's teacher gets, wonderful.
Parents are.
Okay, but that's a little bit. I'm gonna start in lettering. Oh, post that delicious, likes, fun, flying planes. Rather, I'm going to source one class that focuses on basic lettering. So you're going to go to Sugar Cookie Marketing. Then you're going to realize it's a baking group question. You're going to be frustrated. I'll get you over there. Don't worry about it. In the baking group, you're like, guys, I'm just getting started in lettering. Do you have any beginner classes? I don't care if they're on YouTube or if they cost money. I'm taking just one.
Just one.
So you're going to get 50 people saying a bunch of different links, and you're going to find the one. You're just going to find one.
Yeah.
You're going to take it. You're actually going to take that same class 3 times, each time practicing with the instructor to see if you can improve your thing. And then finally, you're going to realize you need one projector and one stand. You're going to go back to the baking group because it's definitely not a marketing question. You're going to ask, what projector are you guys using? It's that a Seiko one. What stand are you using? It's an Archon mount. And now you have been able to incorporate lettering. Now for the rest of the Mount Everest year, you're actually Burke Laking, getting better at lettering.
Yeah, so there's different types of lettering. Bubble lettering, fine lines where it's super thin.
A lot of it comes down to icing consistency, which is a part of this, that's the thing about those Mount Everest goals is there's tons of little, tiny, massive goals hidden behind, you got to get the consistency right. Getting consistency right in icing is a challenge. It's a struggle. It's a whole goal in of itself, tucked in behind I'm learning lettering. These are examples for how to approach as you start winding down 2025, we start winding up 2026. We get the invigorated new year, new me, or I'm burnt out from December. I don't want that to happen again. And I need to create a strategy. What does that strategy look like? Before, if it feels real broad and you know that you and real broad don't get along, kind of take it back to this. It will be the goal. You'd be like, I'd be embarrassed if anyone saw that. Mine.
Yeah. I went on 3 people.
I had to do in January is go to the gym, but I can leave if I want to. I would never post that, but that's my goal. It's just to get my buns between those doors, and I can leave if I want to. That is because the goal is for me. It's not for anybody else. Mount Everest is to be able to tell a lot of people you climbed it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine someone climbing Mount Everest and never saying it to anybody ever?
Then I don't think you climbed Mount Everest.
Right. In fact, you see so many people, I'm climbing it the 5th time. I'm the first woman to climb it without oxygen.
Yeah.
All of these things, but that was done for other people. Imagine that you can go to a TED Talk and be like, I've climbed Mount Everest 5 times with no supplemental oxygen. But I won't be able to say I went to Burke Lake, but you best believe I'm going to be able to walk Burke Lake consistently, and then I'm going to be able to do whatever Old Rag is or the Great Falls Trail or something, and then maybe you'll find me at Yosemite. Whatever, I can get there.
You can get there. It's the small, unassuming, unlikable, unviral steps that's going to get you there. And I want you to have lofty goals, but I don't want to be your lofty goals is what holds you back from reaching them.
I almost wonder if you can't remember your goals because they were too lofty.
I'm sure it was.
Here's one thing I do to keep myself honest. I don't have goals. I call it a habit tracker because I do believe that goals are just trying to create habits just branded and Mount Everest way. So I have a habit tracker, and it's just lame. Get to bed by 10:30. Did I do it?
Oh.
All I do is have to have a head on a pillow, even if I'm still
That
awake.
would be late for me.
Did I wear sunscreen today? But actually, let's say I want to improve my skincare. I want to improve my skin's texture, but it's sunscreen every day.
Yeah.
This one I'm really bad at. Did I leave my phone on extra dim lighting? It makes me not want to use my phone. That's why I don't do it.
Oh, that's it.
Right. Did I take fiber every day?
Easy. Not postable.
Not going to tell people I did that every day.
Definitely compostable.
What I'm exceptionally bad at is no sugar. I almost have to delete it. It's not a goal I want to. It's not who I am as a person. That green drink.
Yeah.
Did I drink it every day? Sometimes I pour half of it out. But did it get into this pie hole? Procreate. That was a rough one. Did I walk or go to the gym? But I don't have any. If it's a 10-minute walk, it's a walker.
Yeah, it is.
I got to remove this one. Hair oiling. I saw somewhere that it's actually not helping your scalp grow hair.
I'm sure next year it'll be helping
I don't
again.
know. I still have the hair oil. I'm not oiling it. Did I take my supplements? Very easy.
Easy.
The red light mask.
Oh,
Back to skincare. You can see that skincare is a couple of these.
Yeah.
Did I drink one of these a day? I'm supposed to actually drink 5 of these a day, but did I drink one?
How did you do? Is it telling you how many days you got it?
Yeah, this is one. It's like super simple. When I click on it, it tells me my average, how often I do it, and then what my...
I see when you purchased it.
You can see when I download the app. 7 hours of sleep. That's my minimum to feel good about myself. This whitening mouthwash that helps with cavities. Oh. For some reason, I can't get it into my pie hole. I don't know what's wrong to eat this one. Did I use tretinoin? Again, supporting my Burke Lake skincare thing. And did I get ready? Because I feel like most of my 30s, I didn't shower.
Did you get ready a lot this year?
This counts as getting ready.
Oh, putting makeup on? I got ready every day of the year.
And that's not a goal you need.
I
It's
know.
not something to do. So, day moisturize my ashy legs.
Oh, interesting.
For some reason, I don't like that because I don't like sticking to my bed sheets. But anyways, that's how I would never post. It's almost embarrassing to have this list.
Yeah.
But I tell myself, the more I can check off these every day, the better I feel. I just feel so much better when I do as many of these as possible.
One of mine that I do remember was I wanted to walk more. So I forced myself.
I think you walked a lot, and you also went to the gym a lot this year because you had a hitch to I Want a Better Marriage.
Yeah, I know. I had to hook it on to that one. I need the better marriage, so I hooked the working out. My walks, on average, from this year to last year, and this was great. This is not something I'd post. I walked an average of 1,000 steps more per day in 2025 than I did in 2024. And it's an average.
It's an average.
But that's 1,000 more steps this year per day.
That's great.
Yeah, so my average from
last year. What was the
year,
baby goal? Just walk more.
So I finally have the average as we come to the end of this year. Last year, average walks per day, steps per day, 5,500. This year, 6,500.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Feel free to post that. I like it.
And it's not flash. 6,500 isn't a lot.
It's because I know somebody's like, well, I walk 10,000 steps a day. Absolutely you do, but she's increased her output.
But for me,
by 10%.
For me, I would love to say I walked 20,000 steps a day. I would love to say that. But to me, 6,500 was a lot.
I always tell people this. If I could increase this experience by 1%, you'd be like, it's almost not even worth the effort. But if I increased every experience I have all day long by 1%, and let's say I have 30 experiences, a 30% increase is massive. We're almost at 50%. We're almost at, more than a quarter increase in experience, whatever that is. If it's like, if I have too much clutter, decluttering, miserable experience. But to be able to walk into my closet and see exactly what I have, Wonderful experience.
For sure.
Anyways, you can apply that same thing to your business. It's not fun. I mean, it's not like awe-inspiring. That little thing, fiber every day. Come on, girl. You got to write that down. Yeah, dude.
Breathe every day? Okay.
When I check it, a little party balloon pops. So, yeah. Just those small. You wouldn't even brag about it, but you would come to the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group and ask for a little assistance. I'm looking for one lettering class.
Yeah.
Guys, I just need to find a simple plate. Where do you think I could get this for my photography staging? And then you're going to be like, wow, look at this person. They posted their Mount Everest. Good for them. We are now on. We're Burke Lake in it.
It comes down to knowing yourself. No one knows you better than you do. And you know that you love to say a lofty goal. And you also know you're not the one to lofty goal it. But you do know you. So if you can say, I'm actually better, and you don't want to be we don't want to be like, I identify as the 1%, but the bad guy, I only move everything up by 1%. If that is who you are, and you know who you are, and you can have a come to Jesus moment that is who you are, you're going to be so much more successful in 2026.
If you like how, you kind of attract what you are. If you like listening to us, we're incremental, small, fiber, check off your list people. Yeah. However, you may look at Corey and be like, well, her photography is my Mount Everest. Well, I want to let you know I saw it when it was Burke Lake. So, Burke Lake years.
Yeah.
Every Mount Everest person also has their Burke Lakes. They just have been at the Burke Lakes longer than you have. And you think, well, if I don't reach that, I'm not even going to try. They are saying, I've put my hands in the cement at Burke Lake. That's how many times I've been there.
And you know what's the craziest of all this? The people who have summited, which is the word, summited Mount Everest, are trying to now summit Mount Everest without oxygen. Like even their Mount Everest wasn't their Mount Everest.
Right. But you're like, well, now you'll never summit Mount Everest without oxygen. That wasn't it. Just be Burke Lake. Yeah. If you were just Burke Lake in your bakery business, I think you're going to be wildly impressed with the incremental small successes that build up the Mount Everest business over time. Okay. So the big takeaway of this one is figure out what your goals are, pare it down to be something. If three local followers a week sounds horrifyingly low achieving to you, but it's more than you're doing now, it's actually the perfect goal for you. It is. Corey was stoked to get 25.
I'm going to tell you, having now done this for 6 years, I cringe when a post for me goes semi-viral.
A reel in the real ecosphere.
I cringe, and you say, why? I am guarding my page growth so tightly because I only want local followers.
So now they'll be like, Corey, I use Mixing Bowl as an example for this. I'd like to put a screenshot in the newsletter, but I know do you want me to blur out the name so no baker from the newsletter can find you?
Listen, the bakers who do find me and engage, thank you. My customers don't
there.
know.
I see
and you
names.
Are there, and I'm just giving you kisses. But I am guarding. I don't want ginormous growth there because that doesn't pay my bills. I want such slight, specific growth.
I want to tell you guys, if you think 118,000 likes on SEM is great, I want to do the swing will be like, we lost 68 followers this week. We gained 120 followers this week. We lost 25 followers.
Big numbers means big growth, big losses.
Big swings, yeah. So but I'm like, how many people signed up for the Cookie College?
Yeah.
How many people are penny for the Vendy Blendie? Like that's where my numbers are. And you'd be like, I have a group of 50,000 and the page has 100,000. The Vendy Blendie had 7,500 that day. Yeah. And that was my value number. That's my Burke Lake.
Yeah.
And that Burke Lake started, this was our 5th year. That was a really tiny Burke Lake at the beginning. We only did 1 mile.
I see local bakers, to me, my competition, air quotes, because they're just other people doing the same thing. They're not competition. They have a quarter of the amount of followers, but are turning clients away right and left. And that tells you that it's not the amount of followers you have. It's the quality of the people. And that's the quality of each one of these, the quality of your email newsletter.
There's a baker out there who's doing absolutely everything we say and is still not seeing results. And that I would be so frustrated. If I was them, I'm frustrated for them. But I want to say, you're doing everything Everesty without the Burke Lake, and I don't think you can make that jump. What if we pare it back down to, instead of I'm going to do everything they've ever said on these 240 podcasts they have to post each Tuesday because that's what the whole thing is, and I'm going to focus on 5 concepts like they talked about in today's podcast. I'm going to send out 1 email, and that email is going to be worth reading.
Worth reading.
Right. I'm going to get an email list Like sometimes people will be like, I have a subscriber list of 1,000. And I'm like, but have you sold 1,000? So where is this list coming from? Because it's not going to be valuable to send it out to 1,000 people who've never heard from you.
Yeah. What it is I'm going to go and I'm going to segment my audience. So the people who ordered customs are going to get one email, and the people who signed up for classes, they're not the same people. They're going to get it.
When you do like a vendor market, sometimes they'll be like, here's everyone's email.
Yeah.
I delete that. Because a vendor market, let's say they got a bunch of pre-sold tickets. Let's say they sold 300 tickets, but you had 30 people stop by your booth, which is what you wanted. There's 270 people who've never heard of you. And now you're sending them email. They're bogging down your open rate. They're bogging down if MailChimp does charge at a certain time. If they click report spam, they've just decimated your deliverability.
Yeah.
So that's where did I add 30 people? Let's say 30 people stopped in, but only got 5 emails. Oof. 5 people wanted to hear from you.
5 people?
Yeah, instead
That's
of
great.
300 people who didn't want to hear from you, and now you've got the issue on deliverability. Just something to keep in mind.
Yeah. When I hear bakers say, I post every single day, where's my leads?
I got to say, what are you posting then?
Yeah. And you're on paper, you're doing it right. You're showing up on your social media. But if we can say, that's Mount Everest of you to post every single day. What is the Burke Lake of that? What is the
one local featured business? Because it requires you. I can post every hour of the day.
I seen you do it, girl. I seen you.
But what if I posted something curated? It's long form copy. It's about this very specific marketing aspect, and it gets 5 likes. But it was 5 people who were like, I read the whole thing. Would I rather post every hour of the day a funny meme, which I obviously like to do? Or would I rather post something that a couple people were like, wow, that definitely helped me? And ask yourself where that value lies, because posting one really solid post a day or a week featuring a local business, so much better than I posted a set I did every day and nobody's ordering.
I know. And it could be, I posted my sets every day. I love that for you. Your caption isn't captivating.
Compelling.
Or captivating.
Or another C word.
Cool. Crazy.
It's kind of cruddy.
There's so many things and that's what me and Heather were talking about. Someone who's doing everything, but nothing's working. But you are absolutely doing everything. It comes down to, you got to pull the onion layers back. Mm-hmm. And we got to say, okay, let's incrementally do something a tinge bit better.
Repetitively over a long period of time.
Yeah.
Forced to be reckoned with.
Forced to be reckoned.
What do they say? Tidal waves start as like little lumps in the water and bring them out of the way.
I think an
be the tidal wave. Then wash over Mount Everest.
Take Mount Everest with you.
Okay, that takes us to that. We're going to be implementing the new structure of the podcast in 2026, Corey and I said. And that will be different stuff that's better for you guys. However, not today. Today, everyone seems pretty focused on getting their Christmas orders out. It is the 16th. Next week is Christmas.
I have my DIY kits are due on Friday and one custom order. And then
we already taught our cookie Christmas class. So
we did.
Because we've been doing it time and time again over years. We're able to sell them out ahead of time.
I know.
Definitely in money. So we do them on the 6th, the farthest from Christmas Day.
We've done them.
We've done them all through end of December.
Over the years, we've done them throughout December.
Oh yeah, the closer you get to this. So somebody was asking, could I do them the 20th and still sell out?
Absolutely.
I think you'd be stopping a line of people. Grandma's in town by the 20th.
I know. Kids are out of college, off school.
Okay, Christmas is on the 25th, right?
Yeah.
That's a Thursday.
It is.
So now we have this awkward Friday.
That's what people were like, I hate that
this is the worst one. Next year will be what, on Friday?
If you did your PTO and took that Friday
want to take off on a day nobody's working?
But what, you're going to go into the office and sit?
I'm going to shake my mouse around and make sure
that's if you're
Teams.
Remote, my friends. Remote.
It's almost the best day to go in because you're definitely not having to do anything. But what a waste of a day. You just had Christmas.
Yeah, you're sitting there.
If you're an employer, you should give everybody off the 26th.
Let's say that to our bottom lines, okay? Let's see what our numbers look like before we allow employees to not show up.
I'll be working on the 26th, but everybody else should be working on the 26th.
You will be working.
All right. So do you have anything, speaking of this, because we're just doing a little bit more goal-y one, what goals are you thinking of setting, my little Burke Laker?
Okay, I'll tell you, because I actually told it to the Cookie College on Monday. My goal is to become more relatable so I can have a better relationship. So when you think of cookies, you don't think mixing bowl. No, you think Corey.
Okay, well, this ambiguous goal. What are your Burke Lake steps here?
My Burke Lake steps are local content. I'm going to your dumb rug tufting class on Friday.
We're going to rug tufting class on Friday.
I guess making little rugs is what the goal is.
We'll be at the mall.
But here's the thing. The mall, and Corey, you don't sell rugs. No, I don't. But where I do my cookie classes is right next to the mall.
Oh, yeah. It's within probably 10 minutes. 10 minutes if the traffic lights are red. 2 minutes if the traffic lights are red. 2 minutes.
Right. So what it's doing is tying me to the local area, tying me to the mall where people go to, and putting my face in front of the camera.
Now, what she also is going to do, because we strategize this, your team voiceover, but we think moving your mouth in front of the camera on location meetings. So a voiceover heading there, but there you talk to the camera directly.
Yeah. So, and because I know who I am, sometimes I want to make a video on the go. I'll just be at a place. Asking someone to hold the camera for me. I made Ashley do it in my Wreath class. I said, just hold the camera while I go get an acorn. Like
you made me do that in our Christmas cookie class.
Yes, and I did. So I want to, instead of
you're putting yourself in
myself is going to be in there. I want you to see me.
I have seen that. I have noticed
and let me tell you, I hate to be in front of the camera.
Have you seen that TikTok trend where you say, hey, could you hold the camera quick? I'm just going to take a quick video. But when they're holding it, they're like, get away, why are you recording me? Why are you recording me? It's hilarious.
So my goal is to not only create local content, I want to become your local bestie. I want you to be like, I found this restaurant out from Corey. You might know her. She runs Mixing Bowl.
Okay. What's the metric at which you're grading success on this goal?
My metric is going deep into my insights and seeing where my local followers are coming from. Right now, my number one area of followers is, you'll never guess, Lake Ridge, where I am. Great. So I have a good foundation there, right?
Right.
Around Lake Ridge is an unincorporated part of Woodbridge, a little bit bigger. Haven't tapped into that so much.
Question. Theorizing here. I've noticed in some of your videos, what if your ex-husband texted me? What if at the end it's like, and follow me if you want more like this. I'm your local baker, but I'm also your local money spender, and I will find something fun for you guys to do.
Yeah, I should tie it in there. Whether I hold a cookie up that says Mixing Bowl, whether I introduce myself and it says Mixing Bowl on there, something like that.
I think you did this great content, but if you say like, guys, follow, it doesn't compel me. I see my own watching habits, especially on TikTok. They're like, we went to this. Follow me. I find more holes in the walls.
Yeah,
I would like more holes in the wall. Boop.
Yeah,
call to action.
Okay. And that's great feedback.
But I can see your Burke Lake gets dissuaded because you're like, wow, I put my face in front of the camera and I got fewest watches I've ever seen.
I know.
So Corey and I also argue that when you come up with a goal, you have to also decide the metric by which you will make decisions. Yeah. Because if you say, okay, well, viewership, well, then Corey's going to completely restructure this if her views are low. But if she's saying location, like sourcing location, then she's going to be like, that's going to guide me. I mean, if I had only 5 viewers, but they're all from a local area I need it, then it's the best kind of content.
Yeah.
You got to kind of match it there. A lot of people like to say likes on posts.
I see what they're saying.
Is the reward, is the metric on which I do this. But you could also say different things like lead gen, page likes. There's just a lot of there to choose from. And it's your job as a business owner and marketer to choose which one of those metrics, which is going to be more than one.
And your metric that you choose will dictate your content. Here's the thing. If I make local content and it's a video, my one that I want to see is the watch time. How long did someone stay in there?
To me, that's indicative of content that's interesting enough to stick around for.
Only a local is going to tune in to this restaurant we're going today for a minute time.
Which is about to close, which is why we're going. I'll tell you guys in that
It's not evergreen content because it's not going to last their closing. But what it's doing, if someone stays around locally for that and I can keep their attention and they watch till, let's say, 45 seconds or 90 seconds, that tells me that content is doing well with my audience. It is, what is the word I'm looking for? When it connects with my audience.
Relatable.
Relatable. Something they find valuable.
Well, another one, if you want me to throw it out there, Eataly is opening in Tyson's. I would be interested
in that. Because my classes are in Tyson's, showcasing things in Tyson's for people who live in Tyson's or go to Tyson's who don't mind the drive to Tyson's is going to benefit me through my classes.
Very interesting. And then you may say, well, only people who are following you are interested in what's going on. That's a part of it. So then she'd make a more cohesive thing that's for every one local thing to do with your 2-year-old, she's going to add, here's my pre-sale lineup or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's going to come up with a strategy that you're constantly going to be tweaking because you're going to have to keep tweaking it because the algorithms. And I was saying to Corey, what we did 5 years ago, you could never do today. My algorithm changed, the marketing, the reels weren't even around, lives were favored.
Things were chronological.
Yeah, it's always, it's going to be in a never-ending state of Burke Lake step improvements.
Yeah. It is crazy. I want to build a relationship more. That means I will have to get in front of my camera more. While I love a staged cookie photo, that is almost the end of a sentence. And she posted another cookie photo, period. Now the relationship starts over, but you're never getting to know me, right? You're never getting to know the baker behind that. You just say, mixing bowl makes cute cookies.
Right.
But you're never being like, Corey, man, I'd go to bat for her.
And that's going to be putting yourself more in the front of the camera. I would say, if you could think about it this way, if every baker posted the same thing, a custom set, how could I stand out just a little bit more? What would that be? Would it be the caption is funny? Would it be the set is funny?
Yeah.
Would it be I took the photo a little differently? And that's how you're going to have to edge out your competition.
Yeah.
I love competitors, keeps everything sharp, but it keeps sharp because we have to keep upping the ante from the other.
Yeah.
From the others.
You know what? Not saying go have a baby for this. When bakers
guys, listen, marketing strategy.
When bakers pull back the apron and show, like, look, we just added another friend to the family, another child to the roster, a bun in the oven. The likes, astronomical. But you have let them into your...
Corey and I say our worst traits is the wall around our personal life.
Because we think it's boring. And it is.
But everyone loves it. I find myself saying, I don't know you, but you're telling me about your husband, you caught him cheating on you with 50 women. I will now write it out for you.
Even not to even that degree. There's this girl on TikTok, me and Summer are obsessed with her. She literally has done a cleanness vlog.
Cleanness? She cleaning her house?
Uh-huh.
I love when people start cleaning their
house.
It's
a 10-minute cleaning video.
But if they were only showing me pictures of their Windex bottles, I'd be like, oh, I don't like this.
But she's doing it.
Yeah.
And she's voiceovering and saying, like, I'm cleaning my pantry today.
Love it.
But that's something that, while that content, cleaning content, you would say is boring, the
Kardashians aren't billionaires because they didn't realize people wanted to watch their...
I know.
The Kardashians, like, people want to watch how I live my life.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show them how they live my life and I'm going to make money from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's all interesting. So that is taking us through this one. The Cookie College, I think we can start flirting with this announcement. We're going into a boot camp style in 2026. Small goals, right? Building that out step by step.
Okay, I'm going to tell you why. To say, sign up for the college, there's 90 courses. That is lofty.
I want to tell people, we heard you. We're listening. Overwhelming wasn't the feature. It was the warning. So what we're going to do is big, chunky, long courses. Each time a boot camp comes out, we're scheduled 12 next year, 10 if we hit our goal. The December, November timeframe gets a little crazy with your schedules and ours. But we're doing them, and they're going to be between 4 and 6 hours. The way that they're going to work has been very interesting, just kind of narrowing it up, but it's going to replace any old, outdated content. So the first one's going to be in-person cookie classes. It's going to consolidate any of those old courses. And the current member said, Heather, we'd love to just hear your lovely voice played over hours. We don't want to do modules anymore. And that is what we're going to do. So if you join a boot camp, which I'll be talking about at the beginning of January, you now have the ability to join the Cookie College where that boot camp material will then archive accessible to the people within that membership. Yeah. And it's a deep dive of every aspect. And we're talking a boot camp on photography, a boot camp on in-person cookie classes. Corey was strategizing the boot camp on pre-sales and pop-ups.
Yeah.
It's going to be a boot camp on Facebook ads. It's going to be these big, chunky boot camps. And within it, you're going to get everything you needed, and then it's...
But I got to say to you...
Tell me.
A great job. To say join the Cookie College and grow your business. Lofty, Everesty, very Mount Everest.
Take this boot camp on in-person cookie classes.
Take a boot camp on in-person cookie classes and now know how to teach an in-person cookie class. Palpable, chewable.
Definitely.
Doable.
And I think a lot of people have been saying, like, there's so much here. And I think that after 4 years of doing this, there is so much here.
Yeah.
So having it consolidated, so every time a boot camp comes out, the people who are already members can obviously have access to that included within their membership.
And it's so much more in depth.
So I think we can kind of really drill down a little bit deeper, really cover it. I know you guys, we want to know about tech in the class, right? I can include that in this module and you can just let it play all the way through. Now you guys will have access to this boot camp and you can sign up for the boot camp. And then if you join the Cookie College, your boot camp fee, which is nominal, but it's to get you actually there, will be refunded back to you and you can join the Cookie College, which doors will close at the end of each boot camp.
Yeah, and then all these beefy, in-depth, more updated things will live in the college. So the college kids, you get a more updated, beefy, long
every month, and it'll be a lot more hours long content. Not overwhelming. It's definitely going to be segmented in a way that you can digest it
step by step.
But then you're going to know exactly what you're getting into. So I think it's going to clean up the membership. It's going to be very structured, and it's going to be a fun little way to actually be able to see the college without having to sign up for it.
And then it's updating the membership. So what worked for teaching classes when we made the course,
it's quite a bit shifted.
Eventbrite been bought out. Features have come and gone.
So this will be interesting. And I think that the Cookie College students who are in there now will love the content heading their way. They have asked for it. We have been working tirelessly behind the scenes. Yes. We will be doing that. The first one will be in January. It will be at the end of January, but you have all January to sign up for that. And then at the end of January, the Cookie College doors will open and you could sign up and get that boot camp fee refunded and then join us for however long you like.
So question, the doors are opening, meaning the doors are shutting?
The doors will be shutting in the beginning of January. To move into this money where your mouth is. And then each month you can join a boot camp where at the end of the boot camp, which is only the boot camps will be 2 to 3 days long, you have the option that weekend to sign up for the college or wait until the next boot camp.
Yeah. So the thing is, signing up for the college, easy, Mount Everesty, you just put your credit card information in there. What our goal is when you sign up, we want you to be successful, because when you're successful at something, a small goal, I want to teach a class, and we can help you teach that class, you'll be more apt to come back.
I also feel like it's kind of hard to be like, guys, sign up for this thing, but don't look behind the curtain. You can't see it until you sign up. It's kind of hard to do. Well, then they have the option to preview a membership, but then why would you sign up?
I know.
So this bootcamp will tell you how we work. If you like what you see, you can either sign up or sign up at a later time for a different bootcamp. But you're looking at 12 very in-depth topics that we've come up with. And then those will launch at the last Wednesday of each month.
Listen, I'm super excited about this.
Yeah, Corey and I spent about a ton of hours kind of retooling, saying, what are they asking for? What can we do to freshen this up? Even, time in, like how can we make this valuable today? And then make sure that everybody wins. Current members, we want to keep you there. We want you to really be excited about what we're talking about. And then future members, we love for you to be able to see what you get before you have to shell out.
Pulling back the apron a little bit. It's hard to say, sign up for the college, you'll learn photography. What does that mean?
But sign up for this boot camp, which is a nominal fee that will be refunded to you if you choose to sign up for the college. If not, you'll have the knowledge.
Sign up for the photography boot camp. You're going to learn how to do photography. If you like how you learned it, you'll learn more in the Cookie College about other things. So that is
very exciting. So look for more about that coming. If you are a current member, you're like, oh no, you're going to love this. So change, love it. You're going to love this one. It's already designed because of the feedback you've given us. And I think you're going to really like a refresher for a lot of this stuff. Refresher with a boot camp that forces you to work. Burke Lake style. I would love to be able to, because Corey and I said, where could you go and be like, oh yeah, I'm getting into rug tufting. And now I'm a little baby deer fawn and I'm tripping over myself. And I'm like, wow, there's so many options. Where do I go? And a guy was very generous. It's so funny. Heather Campbell Berkshire was like, you did post that in a public group, so I read the whole thing.
Oh, that's so funny.
I said, I'm willing to dox myself because that's how clueless I am. But he was like, I see that you bought this. I actually think this is where you're going to head, so you didn't need to buy that at all. So try this. Great. Now, where could I go that somebody shows me for 4 hours exactly what I need, what materials they use and why?
I love to see a baby Bambi going through a new hobby.
I am going all in.
Listen, this is how I almost look, like where they have the mom and she's holding the cup and looking at her proud child opening a present. Yeah, come to mommy. Because I did the same thing when I started cooking.
And I know I'm going to be terrible at it.
And I was like,
my villain origin story.
Will be
last year. This guy joins a Viper group and he's selling a Viper tufted rug. And I said, oh, I'd love to buy this, but I'm not sure you're real. And he's like, you be my guinea pig. And I said, absolutely. Paid him through PayPal, business services. He ends up coming up with every excuse. Literally at one point, the power's gone out. He can't power his little rug tufting gun. So I tell him, hey, I'm going to have to file a a PayPal dispute here, and he said, remember how he called me the guinea pig?
know.
He called me a rat.
Oh, you changed rodents.
He changed rodents on me. Okay, buddy, listen, I'm going to make my own viper rug.
I want to tell you, if you're anything like me, which you are, but you
Almost
are a little
exactly.
bit more like perfectionist, you're going to be bad before you're good.
I'm willing to be terrible.
Okay. Because you'll be bad
Exceptionally.
for a bit.
Redefining the word bad.
When I looked through my beginning photos of the cookies, I said, wow, the
The clouds,
pride,
the bees.
the pride I had of the bees.
Absolutely.
But now I'll look at a set and be like, gosh darn it, that corner. But the bees.
For sure.
The
My
bees.
rug's uneven. The guy was like, you'll tear corners. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, whatever
I
that
will
means.
tear corners.
Tear corners, cry a lot.
I'll cry a lot.
But I was appreciative of looking back on the pride that I had on
Burke
those.
Lake. We don't Everest before we Burke Lake. We
You
must
don't.
Burke before we Lake.
Now I'm looking atop Mount Everest at my beginner cookies, and it's, you're little people.
You tried so hard.
Just kidding. I'm
I
not
will be that with rug tufting. The sponsors of this podcast, thank you so much. Oh, ST, tell me about it.
Goodness, you just are just boobling and bobbling around.
Get out of here. Get out of my way. I got to go stand by
quiet.
Christmas. I'm too busy getting my...
The STL Me About It segment is sponsored by Cookie Design Lab. If you've ever wanted to make a custom cookie cutter yourself and you have a 3D printer, this is the software you need. It is actually web-based, so it doesn't take up a ton of space on your computer.
And we have 7 text-in questions, all from Callfire to 571-556-5644. Again, that's 571-556-5644. I can't believe I'm going to do that.
I was gonna stop you.
Wide eyes.
6. I'm a 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a double texter. It's also about goals.
Oh,
Great.
wow.
Okay, the text in number 318 area code. What do you think it is?
318. Hold on. That is Georgia.
No, Louisiana, but kind of in the same
Oh,
corner.
you sure I'm not even on the same coast?
My goal for 2026 is to do cookie classes and get more orders. Maybe you'll love this boot camp, but I'll be moving again, and I just moved in October, military.
Wow.
Lots of movement.
Yeah.
This is a hard thing to
is.
work around, but I like that your head's here. I'm not sure where I'll be after this year, and I have a 7-month-old that doesn't go to daycare. I feel like I'm in over my head, and I don't know the best way to go about this. Do I do a class a month and then try to redo my customer group when I move? I need to bring in this extra money, but I'm terrible with marketing. Thanks for the help. Yes, I'm in the cookie college, but December has been quite chaotic, so I'll do more with it in January.
Love that.
You're going to love this boot camp. So the thing is, if this is your first class, and this is what I wrote into the curriculum, is that's where a lot of the cost comes in.
Yeah.
Now, there's some cheaper cost. You can definitely source some of this from the $1, $5 below, especially if you're moving. Like, we don't want to take a
ton of stuff with us.
As we get into January, your classes will be small regardless.
Yeah.
Because this is your goal, we're going to Burke Lake it.
Yeah.
If we can just get 4 people to pay you money, great. Especially for a dry run class. And you may be looking at more of a Valentine's Day set, so maybe do it the 1st of February. That way you can source your materials. You obviously are in the cookie college, so you have all our beginner classes, which there's
super cute.
2 Valentine's Day ones.
There is.
A Valentine's Day and a Valentine's Day one. The We Go Together one.
Yes. That was it.
That one's a little bit more complex than the Galentine's Day, so possibly I'd go with the Galentine's Day class. I would watch that. By the time you go to teach that class, we will have this boot camp up, but we're cutting a little close, so you still have that material in the cookie college. What I would do is shoot for 4 attendees.
Yeah.
That is way small.
Way small.
You may, even if you have a room fee, you may be breaking even, but that first class is the dry run class. We always tell people, if you could even do it with family, but you're military, so I assume you're moving a lot.
Just because I'm prior military family myself, on base, there's these military wives groups.
Okay.
That's a great thing. If we're doing
they
Galentine's,
know.
maybe the husbands are deployed. Galentine's, it's women on base. You're hosting it.
They're also looking for community because they're moving just as much as you are.
The military wives group is great because it's base specific. So it's always changing, ever flowing, always new people.
I would say Burke Lake it by posting in the military wives groups and getting 4 attendees. See if
And
you can
hosting
source a
it
space for free.
at your home.
Even that
On base.
love it, right?
If you
So
are base living. base housing.
find that kind of niche there, and then I would say I'm not going to make money. I'm not going to make a massive profit this first time. I'm not going to lose money, but I'm going to get the dry run out of there. Once you've kind of figured that out, now you've started creating a strategy, which is going to be the military wives groups on base.
Yeah, but I want to say from that first 4-person class, you're going to have now content of photos you're taking.
Absolutely. Love that.
We're going to have the content that we're going to take with us. That's a very digital moving. So that's very easy to take with you for when you go to your next station.
A lot of things, keep it real. I know we use trays, but you could just use the parchment. Corey and I use the trays to keep everybody's sprinkles in line. But if we're trying to keep cost and weight low, maybe it's not.
And when there's 4 people, there's a lot more space.
Plastic trays, very lightweight.
Yeah.
The metal trays we have, great workhorses. Have had them for 5 years, but not if we're moving a lot. They're tremendously heavy for some reason.
They are.
So I like where your head's at. You can absolutely do this. Don't overshoot the goal here and be disappointed Mount Everest wasn't climbed. You're just getting started. January is a harder time to sell, but it's a better time to create a control group that's very controllable.
Sure.
I like this. But she also sent another text. But you did win. So now you get the cookie design lab. Email me at heather@sugarcookiemarketing.com and I'll get you set up with that. She said to add, my goal is to own a brick and mortar bakery boutique and I don't know how I can do that with all the moving. Probably not until you're done moving.
Sure.
And we will get to your Everest in whenever.
Yeah. What's great, while you're moving, you're discovering new areas. So while you're there, see, is there a bakery there? Has a bakery closed down? Why did it close down? You're shopping for your future here. And it's great because
you can I told Corey, I spent the last week in Indiana and I said, you don't understand. It's not what it is here.
Right.
It's just the cost of living is different. The space there is tremendous versus an acre of land here is going to bankrupt you. You have the ability to kind of see these areas more, especially if you're moving so frequently.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to put that Mount Everest. You'll know it'll be your goal when husband or wife retires. Yeah. Or gets out of the military. Yeah. But right now, we're going to make sure we have all those pieces Burke Laked until we're ready for Everest.
Yeah. Right.
I like that.
Right.
And then, like Corey said, you can actually see the cost of living in different areas before you make the decision of where to nestle down in.
Yeah.
Another text in, have you heard of school.com? It's a platform for people teaching skills like cookie decorating virtually. What are your thoughts on that? Yeah, I love that. I've seen that ad.
It is. It's the ad that's being served to everybody. It's newer, so they're really sourcing the people, you know.
A masterclass and what's the
Udemy is what it is.
Right. If you want to do that, I think your margins are exceptionally low. You're just teaching a decorating skill set. You're not teaching you're not creating the DIY kit and sending it off to people. Yeah. You're just teaching that passive income. Yeah. I'm sure you're competing with a lot of other players in that game. I would just make sure that your margins are there, but with digital products, it's pretty great because you set them and forget them.
Yeah. If you're not familiar with Udemy, Udemy is a great online place where you can learn to do anything. So the person teaches the class and then hosts the class on Udemy. Udemy is taking a cut of everyone. It's
not live. It's pre-recorded too.
Pre-recorded, yeah. Udemy gets its cut from everyone and then the person who makes the class is actually marketing the class. You know, it's almost Etsy for classes, if I would have to say. You know, you market your own shop and then people go and buy it there and Etsy takes a portion. I've always wondered,
like specifically with masterclass, who gets some like Kim Kardashian's teaching a masterclass. And like past presidents.
Yes.
Like, okay, how are they getting paid on this? But I'm curious to know, like masterclass is a subscription.
It's a subscription. So masterclass would probably have to.
Does it pay them based off of views of their class? Does it pay them?
I'm sure you can find that.
But yeah, I'm not afraid of passive income at all. I would focus on having your bakery dialed in before I incorporate passive income because eventually you could be like, or maybe your thing is like, get rid of the cookies. I'm going to just do these classes. I just think that it's a high competitive space.
It's a high competitive. You'll find that bakers who teach classes to bakers end up hosting their own classes because they don't want to
make the full cost.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're doing all the hard work and then you're hosting it on Schooled.
But you have that Eventbrite concept where if they give a commission, do they bring in new leads?
I know.
Something to consider.
Yeah.
You just would have to see if they allow you to keep your class and sell it yourself and also sell it on there. Maybe something I think about. But no, not opposed. If you post a recurring thing on social media, is it okay to use the same copy week to week, or will that be detrimental to the all-knowing algorithm? Spooky, mystical noises. My personal take on this, reposting the same copy kills the reach. So, and the reason why, I'm using this from groups specifically, but I think you're talking about pages, but when you create a Facebook group, Facebook has this thing called Admin Assist.
Yeah.
Admin Assist can make recurring posts. It's constantly trying to shove it down my throat. You know what they look like when it's always an admin saying, welcome to the group, and it tags all the people.
And it's the same.
Or here's our group rules, just running it by you. You'll see the engagement on those specific posts is tremendously low, and it tags all those people. I know. My thing is, if it's not uniquely written, it's so much so if you guys actually check out the Wednesday wins for 2026, I put the date in them.
Yeah.
To kind of differentiate the copy.
Can I dare say this? I have no proof.
Say it.
When you right-click Save As something from social media, its tag in your phone will be, it'll have like how it's saved on Facebook, like Facebook blah blah.
Right.
When you go to repost it, I do believe the algos can see that. What do you call it? The text, the ID behind the phone, the metadata.
Data.
It knows it's a repost.
Well, that's what they're saying, is that Google reads metadata while it strips it out. The way you uploaded it, it read it. It just doesn't let you save it as that, but it knows when you, they say, and I do think there's merit to it. If somebody asks you to leave a Yelp review and you take the photo and post it where you're in proximity of the business, it has more likelihood to take rather than be filtered out if you took the photo from social media and then reposted it on Yelp.
Yeah. So I'm saying the more unique you can make your content,
the better it performs.
The better it will perform.
How annoying, though, because it takes so much more effort.
It does.
But it's to the point where I almost think recurring posts are a reach killer. Here's a great example. It takes me a ton of time to do the weekly countdown graphic. I've done it for years because when I don't do them, people riot, but they don't like it when I do them.
Yeah.
But it's so repetitive that I think it gets depreciated.
Oh, for some odd reason, even though your copy is different because the dates are
different.
And the photo is different because the dates are different.
It's also the psychology of Heather's been posting these for years on Monday, so what do I care?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a great question. In my opinion, from the small tests I've run, spooky mystical noises, the algorithm sees all and knows all. It wants you to put in a little.
Now that Instagram doesn't even let you put more than 5 hashtags, what that tells me is it's reading, listening, knowing your content now. So it doesn't need your hashtags. It knows. Exactly what it's saying. It already knows.
Hashtag. There was a wall between what the algorithm could read and what it could see. Yeah. Basically, it couldn't see. It could only read your caption. And from there, you're kind of indicating, and then what people are interacting are indicating what this video might be about. Yeah. Now,
gone.
Oh, shit. Now you have visual. AI can see things.
Not only is AI seeing things, it's translating me into 22 different languages every video post that I do.
The future is now, and it's also in the future. I accidentally pressed a button on my phone, which now had an AI update, so it's everywhere. It's like wishing me good morning, kissing me on my way out to work. But it was like, hey, you can turn on your camera and show me this and we can talk about it together. In fact, the other day I needed to replace the light bulb in a fan in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't see how to get to the light bulb. So it said, take a picture. And it's like, oh, I know what this fan is. It's likely a GE something. He said, he wrote, it wrote, grab a prong and shove it in this section. It should dislodge the cover and you should see the light. So then I took a picture of a light bulb, but I was like, this light bulb is old. What is Walmart?
Yeah.
And it was like, here's a comparable bulb, an LED bulb that's to that halogen or whatever.
Yeah.
That we can find a replacement for, and it shouldn't cause any circuitry issues.
I think AI is doing so much more than creating your copy that you guys love to do, a sparkle analyst and a hash. I think it's doing everything now.
So we're in a transitionary period.
It's been wild.
It's learning from us, and we're using it to learn from it. Yeah, I love it. It's like, but before you go and do that, we could make mistakes. Go check.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to buy the light bulb. So yeah. Back to what the original question is I think that AI can say, oh, this is very similar to what you're supposed to. And when I tell my grandmother, AI is not a person. Like my mom is very, very convinced that nobody would guess her password she reuses 50 times because she's thinking a person's like henpecking the keyboard. Yeah. And I'm like, it's not. It's a script. It runs faster than you can even think. It breaks these very complex passwords, and your cat password ain't gonna cut it.
I know.
So it's just funny. I think AI is omniscient in a weird digital way. And you're like, how could it know I posted this twice? I think it does.
Yeah.
I think something and smarter people than me have done it. Here's a question for you. Hi, ladies. I've watched the live in the Cookie College on LinkedIn, but I still don't understand how to use it beyond posting. You've mentioned needing to give before you take, but quite frankly, the posts from companies I work with are boring and I don't know how to engage in a meaningful way. I don't understand connecting with people. How do I connect? I'd love a course or live one day on how the workings of LinkedIn or its best practices.
I love that. And I have some tips for you. You're right. The posts from business pages on our LinkedIn are snooze fests. So what we want to do is we know that necessarily the big conglomerates, Microsoft isn't going to, they're posting something broad, boring, and then there's about 1 million comments underneath it.
Right.
What we want to do is those people that we know, maybe someone who works at Microsoft who's making a post on their thoughts on AI, and we connect it and we comment with those. There's probably like 5 comments on that little person's post.
Right.
That's the person. That's the relationship we're building.
Also local. You go to a networking event. 100% of people are at a networking event on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Great. So you say, hey, I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. You say that verbally, or I'd expect to go to a networking event. I would expect a connection request on LinkedIn. So now we can go there. And now I can see Corey and Summer. They're both on LinkedIn for some reason. They're always on. They're always liking their network's posts.
Yes.
They're commenting on them. So, okay, it's boring. It's boring. Even what you said there, where like everyone's posting boring stuff. So how am I supposed to connect with that?
Unlike Facebook, where you can like privatize your feeds or whatever, LinkedIn's wide open, wide open. So me as Mixing Bowl Cookie Company can go and comment on the person who was at the networking group earlier today's on their post about 5 HVAC tips and tricks you didn't know, because I met Joe at the meeting today as Mixing Bowl's LinkedIn profile. I'm going to go comment on Joe's thing. I did not know that. I did not know that fans had 2 directions. Now I do. Thank you so much for sharing that, Joe. Do you see now Joe and me have a relationship going on?
Here's what I would do for a LinkedIn question for you, pitching this.
Sure.
I would say, hey, guys on LinkedIn. Hey, LinkedIn friends. So funny, there's this local community group, and my twin sister tasked me with cookifying this funny first watch that's falling off. Anyways, here's what it looked like. Here's the followers I gained. It was a great little case study. Would that land there? Business-centric cookie content?
Here's the 2 separate things. I have a Corey Miracle LinkedIn that's been growing for years and years. And then I have Mixing Bowl. A lot of people are starting off both at the bare bones bottoms.
Right.
They don't have a network of 5,000 plus like I do because of how long we've been working. So that for me would perform very well on Corey Miracle, right? So if you don't have necessarily the audience behind you yet because you just got on there.
You make it a Corey Miracle post, which I'd be like, hey, Corey, we're connected. I didn't know you did cookies.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
You have a page I could follow?
So there's 2 there. So it's where you are at in your LinkedIn journey, but I behoove you to, if you have local in-person networking groups, they're happening all of the time, you've got to get out and start growing your social network on there.
I would say the same way, where you're heck bent on getting the local network, even on LinkedIn. So it's a local employment network, but still local, because that's way when you're like, hey guys, I'm taking corporate orders for cookies. Here's what that would look like. I could even put a QR code to land people on your website. Now that even is posted as Corey and not Mixing Bowl does numbers. But Corey can always tag Mixing Bowl, which lists her website order form.
Your biggest benefit will be commenting on other people's posts as either your branded LinkedIn page that says you're a baker or your business page that says you're
probably
baking.
For this one, if they're my local network and they're connected to my network, I'd post as myself.
It depends how you met them and how you presented yourself.
I agree.
We always want to keep it. Did I say I'm Corey Miracle and I do part-time baking? Or am I Corey Miracle the baker? Because
it'd be funny. Random idea. Let's say you go to a network event, 30 people there.
Okay.
You want corporate Eddie orders.
Okay.
You give everyone an Eddie QR code cookie.
Love it.
But you said everyone scan them right now. Everyone but one of you will go to my LinkedIn profile. I'd love to connect with you. One of you guys who scan this, you're going to get a free dozen.
Love that. Everyone's going to scan it.
And they're going to be, so they're forced to end up at your LinkedIn profile. One person gets a free dozen Eddie cookies. Talk about a bang for the buck. Listen, guys, you listen to you're going to go to a networking event?
I want to in 2026.
I'll go with you.
Oh, I'm going to hold you to it.
I like the networking event.
Listen to Heather right now. Every time I sign you up for something,
I love to belly
and the time
That's
comes.
A part of my Mount Everest.
Okay, because there's a Mommy and Me class coming in February. You already said yes.
Okay, back to our sponsors. Cookie Design Lab, thank you so much. Baking Me Crazy, thank you so much. Daisy Makes got their patent. That's really cool. Congratulations. Yeah. Thank you so much. Eddie, the edible food printer, has Freddie. I think EddieCon tickets are sold out, but you could find people reselling them in the unofficial Eddie group and the Eddie printer users group. Nice. So definitely check that out if you want to go. It's in January. And Bakety Bake, thank you so much for being a sponsor. And then Bosch, who is running a sale, and we got to give a Bosch mixer away before January 1. They're still on sale right now. Use code SugarCookie. All those sponsors are listed at sugarcookiemarketing.com. You can either click on the podcast link at the top or scroll down to the bottom and get their discount codes they've graciously given us
for
you guys. Yeah. And when you use them to get something at a discount, you're actually signaling that this podcast is a great sponsorship for them.
Nice. Nice.
You have a Twinterest?
Do you have a Twinterest beyond your rug tufting?
Oh, shoot. Okay, Dossier. I got this. It's supposed to smell like some fancy $300 perfume.
Nice.
Corey, I had my grandmother smell it. She's like, it smells like when you go to Macy's. I said, and go to the expensive perfumes. This was $30, but I think on their website, if you don't get it through Target, it's on sale right now. Nice. Corey didn't like it, I could tell.
I just like a gourmand.
This is not food.
I know,
that is
gourmand.
A good point. It is not food. It is a little heavy.
It is heavier.
If you spray this in a car, you're getting a headache.
You're
going to have to
get
the
into the back of
throaty throat.
The old throat, Lar.
But it smells like, Corey said it smelled like romantic man. I think it smells like demure woman who knows her lot in life.
Oh, woman.
She's on her second marriage and she doesn't care. She didn't need the men anyways.
Spray me right now.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Speaking of, I got to text your husband. What's yours?
What is my Twinterest?
Corey's in a purging.
I am in a purging mood. What's so funny is my husband's coworker loves to I make it for free. He loves my sourdough bread. And when he's making like a roast, he'll ping my husband and be like, can Corey make me some sourdough?
Corey's husband is a police officer. This is his best police officer buddy.
Yeah. His always has 6. His back.
Weirdest. Yeah. So the 6th buddy is single and doesn't have family around here.
Yeah, all in California. So he's buying his lonesome.
Corey had an impulse Dutch oven buy, but instead of donating it to like a thrift store that's going to resell it, she has created a sourdough starter kit in this Dutch oven and gifted it to this man with plenty of time on his hands to get into sourdough. That was very creative.
Yeah, it was very nice. Nate says he was so excited, and I wrote a little Merry Christmas note, and then I threw in some sourdough goodies for him to taste test.
For some reason, Corey has become Six's mother.
I have.
And his matchmaker.
I just feel so bad for him.
I know you do.
What
are you doing? Taking care of your other son.
Well, he's well fed now. And he'll be well feeding his sourdough starter.
That's good. I do like the thought. So Corey, come up there. There's a bunch of stuff she's giving her.
Yes.
One man's trash, another man's hoarders. So she's giving my mom heated gloves, which I didn't know you had.
I know.
It's a good one for mom. They go on walks, so they need it.
She said she needed it for bike rides. Her hands are getting oiled.
Give it to somebody who can use it. That's just as valuable as...
Oh, it's better than getting it and having to just donate it to a random person.
If my family wasn't so weird about regifting, we should have a regifting white elephant. Like something
you
bought.
did this in the midsummer.
The garage sales, but I'm saying white elephant with the cuz.
Oh, yeah. No.
Like, hey, here's something I bought. I had a lot of energy behind the purchase, but I've never used it. And the problem is somebody's going to bring some trash. Now you've ruined it. Nobody wants your crap.
What's crazy is these heated gloves. I had the best of intentions. I don't like to walk the dog in the cold. I let my husband do that. So, the gloves are too small for him. So my mom was like, my hands are really cold.
That's perfect for mom.
I said, I don't buy anything. I've got it. We've got it. And they haven't been used.
It'll be used by mom.
I said, I couldn't ask for more.
If you're like, I listened to the podcast last week and I have all that stuff. I don't need any of it. And you want to gift yourself something. My favorite thing I own is the Ororo. Ororo.
I just call it Oreo, but
sweatshirt, full zip sweatshirt hoodie.
It's heated. Ororo.
Yeah, listen, I know it's $100. You can do open box if you can find them.
Yeah,
it is the one thing you will find glued to this body.
Yeah,
I have repurchased it.
Here's the thing: you can wash it. And Heather will wash it.
I have a germaphobe issue. I wash it every time after I wear it. Unfortunately, I've tried to get into 2.
But here's the thing: there's heating elements in it. So we were always wondering how would it wash because
I only use it from fall to early spring. Wash it. You're looking at 1 time a week, and the last one lasted 4 years. Of that level, and I'm turning this thing on and off every minute of the day. That to me, I owe them money. That's the delightfulness.
And Heather's once broke. She's had this for years. It's once broken after all these washes.
I purchased last year, and I'll tell you this. Olive Garden, you ain't turning over this cold table.
Yeah.
I'm here. Ding.
Yeah.
Turn this bad boy on. I'll use it. I was even going to the gym yesterday. I was like, oh, the walk is so long. I have to bring my jacket. Turn it on. It just makes a little bit of difference. It lasts on low. It lasts about 5 hours. On high, it lasts about an hour and a half.
Yeah. So if you're in I thought it'd be great if you went to a movie theater. It's always cold.
I only bring it at a movie theater. I bring it to every restaurant. I bring it to every time. It's my favorite thing. And then I don't use it all summer. I don't even look at it.
Right.
No icon.
Right.
But it's one of those things I'll keep repurchasing.
They have, unfortunately.
Don't tell me you bought something else from them.
Years ago I have. The scarf.
Mom loves it.
I know.
Give it to some.
I think she has one. I think Golan bought it for her.
I think they share one.
No, she got something for Christmas that is. I should ask. That is mine.
Okay, guys, we will see you next week as we gear up for a fun 2026 of marketing and frolicking around Burke Lake.
And frolicking together.
Okay, so sorry, I gotta end on this. There's this restaurant we're going to. It's called Rosemary's Thyme. Rosemary's Thyme, Thyme. So like the little seasoning thing. When we were 14, we had a laser tag birthday party, and the laser tag teenagers who were running the thing said, "Can we have the birthday boys come out?" That's how short our hair was. We go to Rosemary's Thyme to celebrate with my family, and my dad looks at my mom and says, "Don't you ever cut their hair again. That was so embarrassing." Corey, not embarrassed, could care less. Yeah. But that was the last short, buzzed up the back haircut we ever had. Yes, you've seen pictures of it. If you want to see a picture of it, I can post it. Rosemary's Thyme is closing next week.
Due to rent increase, not because they're not amazing.
So as a solidarity to Rosemary's Thyme, we'll be journeying there for our first time in 18 years and our last time ever lunch. That's the story.
Hungry.